Hello, everyone. So I'm back for another day. It's been a good day so far, and just wanted to pick up where I left off yesterday, which is going to be looks like page 8 of this book. So I'm going to read from there and kind of do the same thing I did yesterday. So just kind of discuss everything. Again, I would appreciate some kind of feedback if y'all could. Whoever's watching this, if somebody's watching it, and then maybe give me some pointers would be good. So anyway, back to it. So last time when I left off, it was talking about the Eve eating the fruit and then giving it to her husband. So we're going to go from there. And this is again the King James version of the Bible. So yeah, I'm going to start there and go from there. Okay. And the eyes of them both were opened, and they knew that they were naked. And they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. And they heard the voice of the Lord God walking into the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of Lord God amongst the trees of the garden. And the Lord God called unto Adam and said unto him, Where art thou? And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid myself. And he said, Who told thee that thou wast naked? Hast thou not eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat? And the man said, The woman who thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. And the Lord God said unto the woman, Is this what thou hast done? And the woman said, The serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. And the Lord God said unto his serpent, Because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. And this will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply that sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and they shall rule over thee. He shall rule over thee. So wow. So based on this information, it's saying that because she gave her husband the fruit, now he has dominion over her. That seems kind of weird and messed up, but again, it's just a root. So she has to have kids, and wow, that's messed up. And unto Adam he said, Because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I command thee, saying, Thou shalt not eat it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake. In sorrow shalt thou eat of all the days of thy life. So, going to be sorrowful for all your days of your life. Wow. Thorns also and thistles shall bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat from the herb of the field. Thou shalt eat the herb of the field. In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread, till thou return to the ground. For out of it wast thou taken, for dust thou art, unto dust shalt thou return. And Adam called his wife's name Eve, because she was the mother of all living. Unto Adam also and to his wife did the Lord God make coats of skins and clothed them. And God said, Behold, a man has become one of us, to know good and evil. And now lest he put forth his hand and take also of the tree of life and eat and live forever. So basically what it was saying, this is what I'm getting, is before he ate the fruit, they didn't really know that they were naked. So they were kind of naive and didn't understand what was going on. But then after he ate the tree, he kind of woke up and understood how things were going. And that's not what God wanted. God wanted people just to live in peace and love and harmony. And now, because they ate from the tree, now they have to have children and have that be able to raise them. And now you have to do this until you return to once you came, before you came. So after you die, you can go back and live in harmony and love and peace. Let's see, I think I skipped another page. Yep, there we go. Okay. Therefore the Lord God sent him forth from the Garden of Eden to till the ground from whence he was taken. He drove out the man and placed at the east of the Garden of Eden cherubims and a flaming sword for which turned every way to keep the way of the tree of life. So it's like protecting, I guess. And Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. And she again bare his brother Abel, and Abel was a keeper of the sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in the process of the time it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord. And Abel also brought of the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering. So basically what it is I see that Adam and Eve disrespected the Lord's rule and the Lord's word, but he didn't. He just made them to where they can't be in paradise anymore. So he kicked them out of paradise, but he still let them live, which he could have not let them live, so that's good. And then, but he still cares. Because right here, and the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering. So he still shows respect if you're willing to respect him. But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. Countenance? Yeah. And the Lord said unto Cain, Why art thou wroth, and why is thou countenance falling? If thou dost well, thou shalt not be accepted. Shalt thou not be accepted? And if thou dost not well, sin lieth at the door, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and came to pass, when they were in the field, and Cain rose up against Abel his brother, and slew him. So he killed his brother. Why did he kill his brother? That doesn't make sense. Seems kind of messed up. And the Lord said unto Cain, Where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, What hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. And now art thou caused from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. So it's like he already knows. God already knows what's going on. He just wants you to tell the truth. It's like he already knows. He knows everywhere's earth. And he's in everything. So he already knows. Why would you lie? Then thou tillest ground. It shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in earth. And Cain said unto the Lord, My punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me out on this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid. And I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that every one that findeth me shall slay me. So he basically cast him out because he did something bad. And maybe this speaks to the badness of people, that all he had to do was just do his job and everything would have been fine. No, he had to kill his brother. So it doesn't seem very fine to me. And the Lord said unto him, Therefore whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. And Cain went out from the presence of the Lord, and dwelt in the land of Nod, on east of Eden. And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived, and bare Enoch. And he builded a city, and called the name of the city after the name of his son, Enoch. And unto Enoch was born Irad, and Irad begat Mahail, and Mahail begat Methuselah, and Methuselah begat Lamech, and Lamech unto him 2 wives. And Lamech took unto him 2 wives. The name of the one was Ada, and the other one was Zillah. And Ada bare Jubal, and he was the father of such as dwell in tents, and such of cattle. So, okay, again, I'm going to butcher these names because I know I am, but I'll learn them as I go. But so we had 2 wives. So has it always been 2 wives in all of Christianity? It's like when people do they always take 2 wives? Or is it just on the storybooks? So it makes me think, and if it's in here in the Bible and it says he took 2 wives and people were taking wives, are people supposed to have 2 wives? And his brother's name was Jubal, and he was the father of such as is the harp and the organ. Let's see. Yep, cool. And Zillah, she also bare Tubal Cain, an instructor of every artificer, and brass and iron artificer. And the sister of Tubal Cain was Naamah. And Lamech said unto his wives, Ada and Zillah, Hear my voice, ye wives of Lamech. Hearken unto my speech, for I have slain a man to my wounding, and a young man to my hurt. If Cain shall be avenged sevenfold, truly Lamech, seventy and sevenfold. If Cain shall be avenged sevenfold, truly Lamech 70 and sevenfold. And Adam knew his wife again, and she bare a son, and called his name Seth. For God, she said, hath appointed me another seed instead of Abel, whom Cain slew. So, Adam lost a son. Imagine he was pretty upset that he lost a son, especially to one of his other sons. And now, but he had another son, but it doesn't replace the one that's missing, the one that got killed or whatever, unalived. So, this is the book of the generations of Adam. In the day that God created man, in the likeness of God made he him. Male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name Adam. In the day that they were created, and Adam lived 130 years, and begat a son in his own likeness, after his image, and called his name Seth. And the days of Adam after he had begotten Seth were 800 years, and begat sons and daughters. So up until then, we don't know how old he is, but 800 years after Seth, and then 130. So it was 930 years old at least, based on this information. That's a lot. And all the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and he died. And Seth lived 105 years and begat Enos. And Seth lived after he begat Enos 807 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Seth were 912 years, and he died. And Enos lived 90 years, and begat Canaan. And Enos lived after begat Canaan 815 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Enos were 905 years, and he died. And Canaan lived 70 years, and begat Mahalalel. And Canaan lived after he begat Mahalalel 840 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Canaan were 910 years, and he died. And Malel lived 60 years, 165 years, and begat Jared. And Maleel lived after he begat Jared 830 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Maleel were 890 years, and he died. And Jared lived 162 years, and begat Enoch. And Jared lived after he begat Enoch 800 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Jared were 962 years, and he died. And Enoch lived 65 years, and begat Methuselah. And Enoch walked with God after he begat Methuselah 300 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Enoch were 365 years. And Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God look at him. He was not, for God took him. And Methuselah lived 187 years, and begat Lamech. And Methuselah lived after he begat Lamech 782 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Methuselah were 960. And then Lamech lived 182 years, and begat a son. And he called the son Noah, saying, This same shall comfort us concerning our work and toil of our hands, because of the ground which the Lord hath cursed. And Lamech lived after he begat Noah 595 years. Wow. Begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Lamech were 770 years, and he died. And Noah was 500 years old, and Noah begat Shem, Ham, and Japheth. It's a lot. That's a lot of years. I don't know about you guys, but I don't necessarily want to live that old. That'd be too old. Seems like the world's messed up. And living that old would just make you see a lot of terrible and tragedy. So I don't know about you guys, but it sounds like a terrible time to live to be 900 plus years old. What are you going to do in all that time anyway? And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and it took them wives of all which they chose. And the Lord said, My spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he is also flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. So maximum 120 years after all this happened. I guess he had to populate the earth with a little bit and let them have sons and daughters before he dwindled down the average age of people. Then there were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of the God came unto the daughters of men, and they bare children unto them. The same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of thoughts of his heart were solely evil continually. You can see that today. You can see that going on now with all the politicians and the people that are in power. Is there any good out there? Are the people good at all? Or are they just there to further their own agenda? At the end of the day, we choose what we do as a society. We have made a choice that money is one of the things that's the most important, if not the most important thing. But this money doesn't matter. It's a man-made construct, just like a clock or a calendar. Just all man-made. This was never in the book, I don't believe. Maybe we'll get there. But it seems like people have forgotten, or we have forgotten, what the true meaning of life is. And this, hopefully, will shine some light on it. But we're going to stop there. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good day.